Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to take a look at Books Do Furnish a Life by Richard Dawkins. First, I just want to say this will probably be the last Richard Dawkins book I do, at least until his new book comes out in October. This channel is meant to be about all manner of science books and anything else that catches my interest. It's just that I happen to like Dawkins' books. So, Richard Dawkins is an evolutionary biologist and is known as a kind of crusader for science and scientific thinking. His books can mostly be divided into a few different categories. Most of his books present scientific ideas. These are books like The Selfish Gene, The Extended Phenotype, and Climbing Mount Improbable. Almost all of them, really. Then there are his books that discuss how religious thinking either conflicts with science or is harmful. Dawkins is probably most well known for The God Delusion, but there's also Outgrowing God. Some of his books are a combination of these two categories, like The Magic of Reality or The Blind Watchmaker. Books Do Furnish a Life is a compilation of essays, forewords, and prologues Dawkins has written for other books over the years, and all of the above categories are covered. It might occur to you that this is the same premise as another Dawkins book, A Devil's Chaplain. That book exceeded my expectations, and I did review it on this channel if you're interested. Books Do Furnish a Life does the same thing, but it also includes interviews with some people you may know of. There's astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, theoretical physicist Lawrence Krauss, evolutionary psychologist Steven Pinker, science writer Matt Ridley, and scientist Adam Hart-Davis, and journalist Christopher Hitchens. I found the interviews to be more enjoyable than I thought I would, and in the case of the Steven Pinker interview, it may be the first time I heard somebody speaking with Dawkins and come off as the intellectual superior of the two. And the interview with Hitchens comes from just before his death in 2011, so that one hits in a different way. Between the mixed formats and subjects, this book has one clear point. The pursuit of real understanding and truth is critically important, and science is the only real way to do it. And this message is becoming increasingly important. That's really the central theme of the book. It's a love letter to science, and it includes a truly broad array of angles. I found The Girl Who Escaped from ISIS particularly touching. If this is the kind of thing that interests you, this book will turn you on to a lot of work by other authors that you're going to want to check out. For example, one of the books featured is Carl Sagan's Demon Haunted World. It's a book about critical thinking and the importance of science. Dawkins says it's one of his favorite books, and it's one of mine too. That's one of those books that I think should be mass distributed and everyone should read it, especially with the rampant superstition among Americans. Americans are super duper stitious. Dawkins says that America leads the world in science, but it also leads the world in anti science. And it's just the kind of thing that this book warns and fights. But this book is more balanced than you might expect. For example, the Neil deGrasse Tyson interview, he discusses why he doesn't attack superstitious thinking. In fact, it almost sounds like he's trying to defend it. Richard says, there's something deeply unscientific about religion, and Tyson's response is, yeah, well, there's something deeply unscientific about a Van Gogh painting, too. Tyson uses defenses like this multiple times in the conversation. It really surprised me. I think my favorite interview was the Matt Ridley interview, which was about genes, something both Dawkins and Ridley have written extensively on. So while I did enjoy this book, I didn't find it to be quite as interesting as most of his other books. Maybe that's just because most of the points raised in this book can be found elsewhere in Dawkins' body of work. It's a really good book, though, and I hope more people decide to read it. Okay, that's it for this one, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you're interested in science or the pursuit of knowledge and understanding, check out Books Do Furnish a Life by Richard Dawkins.